Have you ever been Googling a female celebrity only to notice a significant amount of attention on their feet? I mean, come to think about it, every female celebrity on Earth gets a lot of attention for their trotters, especially on the internet. And if there's anything I took away from Pulp Fiction, it's that there's nothing better you can give a woman than a good foot massage. And sure, most of us just assume Quentin Tarantino came up with this because he's fucking weird. But it turns out he might actually not be. I mean, he still is, but that's for a totally other, much longer video. According to Wikipedia, there are actually a lot of famous people that have foot fetishes, like Jack Black, Andy Warhol, Elvis Presley, and Pharrell. I guess get lucky has a completely different meaning than we thought it did. So why do foot fetishes exist? Because for the most part, anyone that's been to a public pool or pediatrics office thinks that feet and sexy time live in two completely different areas. So foot fetishes. Why? Well, firstly, what is a fetish and how do they happen? Well, the dictionary definition of a fetish is a form of sexual desire in which gratification is linked to an abnormal degree to a particular object, item of clothing, part of body, etc. Basically, you see a shirt and you're just like, ugh. Now, fetishism is characterized as a disorder when there's a pathological assignment of sexual fixation, fantasies, or behaviors toward an inanimate object. So it's like if you had a shelf on your brain and you put some tits on that shelf, but then right next to the tits were I don't know, a hammer, a shoe, copy of the Digimon movie. Now, when it comes to the actual psychology of a fetish, scientists have yet to figure out where they really come from, because mainly when they try to study the brain, it acts like a fucking bitch. Oh my god. But there are three popular theories as to how foot fetishes blew.
The brain overlap theory.
Okay, imagine your brain is an office, and in one department there are two guys that have cubicles right next to each other. Now, the guy on the left controls things like hands and feet and arms, while the guy on the right has to control all the... Now, because the two work so closely, they sometimes get to talking, and the guy in charge of the gets to thinking. Man, arms are hot. Now, because these two parts of the brain are so close to each other, they tend to overlap a lot, and because of that, feet turn into tits. I mean, tits turn into feet.
The pepperoni pizza pal theory about sex.
So in the 1960s, a bunch of scientists got together with a group of guys and showed them tits with boots. Now, as the experiment started, all the guys thought, oh yeah, tits, that's good. But as the experiment continued, they started to take away more and more of the tits and put in more and more boots, to the point where the guys literally just thought, no, boots, you can kind of put your dick in that. So what the experiment suggested is that the more and more you're exposed to an inanimate object while being aroused, the more and more likely you are to be aroused to that inanimate object. By the way, this must have really sucked for the test subjects, because do they just walk into Sears and just kind of think, oh.
Gross out theory.
Okay, this one's pretty simple. When you're aroused, the things that you used to think were gross tend to not be as gross as they used to be, which explains things like spit fetishes and scat and even feet. Does this mean if I watch a Kevin Hart stand-up special aroused, I'll actually laugh? And there you go. Now whenever you see Scarlett Johansson feet in your Google recommended search boxes, you'll know what the frequent footy fixation is all about. And who knows, maybe I should explain other weird sex things like... Oh god, no. Please no.